Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. If you're new to the channel, my name is Robert and this is
Elie, better known as Bob the Builder.
Bob the Builder and I here are actually on step 2, which is finishing this table. So Elie, what's left to be done to this table?
Final steps in completing this coffee table is to fill all the nail holes with wood filler, sand the entire coffee table down, stain it, seal it, and varnish it. Last but not least is to install 2 hinges, one on either side, so that the top portion of the coffee table opens and closes.
So there you go. I hope you stick around because we're completing this build right now. Alright, so here we go. Now we're going to start filling up all those nail holes with some wood filler. Elie, with this wood filler, you put it in, how long do you have to wait for it? Does it have to cure? Does it dry? What do you have to do?
Well, depending on the product and the size of the hole, anywhere from half an hour to an hour drying time.
Right on, right on. So now we're moving ahead into the sanding, and as you could tell, Elie right now is using my 8-inch sander, and it's way too powerful though for this. So we end up taking another sander and using a 5-inch orbital that has speed control and everything. One thing to notice is Eli's hair seems to be coming nice and frosted tips on it because of the actual dust in there. But the one thing is that what I have in the shop is I have a vacuum that's up in the ceiling, and as well as on the where the window is, I have a big fan that just sucks everything out. So
you can see it.
Yeah, you can see that, and we always make sure that Elie has a mask on to make sure that he's not inhaling that stuff. Alright, so here we go. We're going to start to stain it, and Eli's going to use 2 different methods to stain this. One is ragging and the other one is with a brush. Elie, which do you prefer? Why do you use one versus the other?
Well, I prefer both because when you're staining up against another piece of board, another piece of wood, it's much simpler to brush it and then wipe off the excess. When you have a piece that's open, you know, it's more easier to rag it on, opposed to using the brush on the entire thing, which would take time and probably not come out as even as it would with a rag.
And do you find one is better? Like if you're using a brush, do you have more issues with the colors not matching 100% because maybe you got more or less? Is it easier to control the stain with the actual rag?
Yeah, it's more easier to control the stain with the rag. However, again, going back to product, a liquid stain versus a gel stain, I approve the gel stain over the liquid stain to control the amount.
So can you just stain it and then right away start to put the urethane on, or do you have to wait till it dries, or what?
Absolutely not. You cannot. You should by rights let it cure properly depending on the product and the material, the wood, which type of wood it is. Yeah, you definitely need to allow anywhere from 8 to 16 hours dry time.
All right. So here we are now going ahead and putting the first coat of the urethane. And so we did originally say we were going to seal the wood and then you put urethane on it, and we looked for a proper sealant for it, but unfortunately we couldn't find anything around us that was at a reasonable price where I didn't have to pay $150 for 40 gallons of it or something like that. So what we did was we went ahead and we put actually 2 coatings of urethane on it. So we put the first one on, we sanded it nicely, and then we put a nice finishing coat on it. And so right here, Eli's putting on the first coat. And Elie, any tips or tricks for putting on some urethane?
Absolutely. After the first coat is applied and proper curing time, you should give it a light sanding with a very light grit sandpaper so that the second coat adheres properly and finishes with quality.
Yeah, definitely. All right, and so one thing you didn't see is you only saw us put 1 coat, and that's because Elie does live a bit of a distance from my house, which is where we do all our videos. So I sanded it and then put on the second coat myself. So see, Eli says I'm useless, but I think I have proof that I'm actually, I can do some things.
Yes, absolutely, Rob. You are very useless.
That's a good one. I gotta admit, that's a good one. But here we are with the hinges now, and the hinges are very easy to put on. If I give you one word of advice, is to remove the actual spring, that piston that's there, because it was really hard to actually put the screws in because of the piston being in the way. Now, as you see, I'm there with an open-end wrench, and that open-end wrench is a 10 mil, so it's very simple to take off and put on. So that was just a minute it took. And then there's Eli finally doing something, because you know, as you saw in this video, he hasn't done much throughout this whole video. You notice how I'm doing all the work there.
Great teamwork, man. Great teamwork.
But yeah, then after, see, we decided that the table wasn't quite sitting equally flat on all ends. So I put some rubber feet on each corner so that this way, when it closes, it was sitting on the rubber feet and it made the actual top of the table sit flush. All right, so there you have it. We are done our table. And like we said, we put the hinges inside, and as Eli wanted it, we opened it this way instead of that way.
Yes.
Yes, right, Batman?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anyhow, I'm going to zoom in for you and give you a close-up of it so you can see exactly how it turned out. I actually think it came out really nice. The only one thing I gotta admit is that with these hinges, I mean, you know, you always get really quality made stuff from China, but you know, you gotta be a little careful when you open it and make sure the pressure is properly, you know, comes out. But it does, it comes nicely as long as you know, and raise it properly.
Yeah, and with time, with usage, it'll open up even easier.
Yeah, it'll break in a little bit and all that. So there we go. As you can see, we put some rubber stops on the bottom so that this way there's an even gap all the way around. But I'll show you that all right now. So anyways, I'd like to take this moment to thank you all for joining us. Eli, thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Although we really know I'm the one who did all the work. Anyhow, yeah, so stick around and we'll show you a close-up of the table. Hey Vanna, can you open up the table for us? Now, a few things, we did run out of screws, so I will be heading on out and putting the last 2 or 3 screws in here, and as well on this side. But other than that, the table is 100% finished.
Want me to close it?
Yes, Batman, please close it. And there you go. So everyone, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Inside and store stuff inside here. What I really like about this... Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. If you're new to the channel, my name is Robert.
This is Eli the Bob the Builder.
This is it.
And it completely... completing the final stages and this coffee table.